There's too many cars. How's it going? My name is BB. I have a YouTube channel, which you're watching right now. And I just finished a project, and I figured we would go through and take a ride in the park. So this is what this video is going to be about. So just sit back, relax, and just watch me see how long until it fails. Ooh, someone left a rotten jar of chicken livers here. Ah. So I just found this little pagoda on the other side of the large park that runs through my town. And I figured today, since I'm going to start at the very end and try to go meet up back with my family on the other side of the park, which is actually quite a ride. So, please forgive me if I'm actually going a little slow in parts. It's kind of because I did have some problems with this thing overheating earlier. I don't know if it was from brake use or if it's from, you guys said, what the hell? I don't know if it's from overusing the electric brakes on all these hills, or if it's just from the motors getting hot. I know this board isn't running temperature sensors, so that makes it a little weird. Also, there's a lot of people on the path today, so I probably will be going slow to avoid them, just like that. Excuse me. Yeah, so a little bit of stop and go today. If I'm not mistaken, this river walk in my town actually runs, I believe it's 10 miles almost in this segment. But I think the segment I'm running today is only about 5 at most, maybe shorter. Metals falling. A little creek. Yeah, everybody's out today. There are some quick segments like this. Oh shit, that's fun. I'll get a chance to actually use full throttle. See where I'm going in here actually. Yep, I think I'm running into the issue again. Yeah, the board's getting weak right now. I don't know if it lowered amps or something, but it just cut out. I just felt it completely drop off. No brakes. Yep. Luckily this mulch pile's here, so help me out. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's a huge issue I've been having with this. I'm sorry for the wind audio. I know that's probably horrible. But yeah, a huge issue I've been having is motor cutting out. It seems like it incrementally starts getting weaker and weaker and weaker until it just shuts off. I don't know if that's just a setting that's automatic with these with the Flip Sky ESCs, but I know these motors are being run sensorless without temperature sensors, as that's really the only configuration in which they work. Because even though the hall sensors were connected and they were only a 5-wire, so they didn't come with a temp sensor to begin with, the hall effect sensors aren't recognized. I think it has to be a 6-wire to actually be recognized by the Flip Sky ESC. I built it. Yeah. Thanks, man. So I'm gonna have to wait here for a little bit until this thing is cooled down enough to start up again, which is kind of where I was at when I started the video. So just give me a sec. Yeah, so this is the river through my local town. It's not a very clean river. Actually, the area we were just up by, you see the river's flowing from this way, that way. The area we were just up by is where the water treatment plant was. We actually just passed it. It was that large fenced-in section on our right side. So that's the water treatment plant, which is where all this water is headed. So you know this water is already real bad. Generally, nobody swims in it, but locals here swear that it's safe to eat the fish out of. But I don't believe it, and a lot of other people don't either. But there are still people who fish it. Surprisingly. Yeah. I'll show you guys around. Maybe if I could turn the other camera lens on. There you go. It's a little bit bigger. So yeah, we got a nice pedestrian bridge. That's only about 1/8 of the distance we just traveled, just to that little jut off from the shore there. So if you keep going about, that way about another half mile, that's where we were. So I said the segment we were on today is a 5-mile stretch. It's only because it loops around in a circle. From where we were over there, all the way down. I can't even show you, it's so far away. Yeah, so far down that way. Loops back around and comes this way and goes back all the way around to where we were. That's a huge Riverwalk loop. But luckily it's all really well maintained and the sidewalks are nice and clean with no messy edges or anything like that. But it's an easy way to get from one side of town to another. Cool, there we go. So I can use this moment to talk a little bit more about the board as soon as I get around this. Alright, let's see if we can do this out. As long as you get some momentum going, you'll be okay. This is fairly steep, actually. I don't know what grade that would be, but it's it's pretty steep. All right. Overall, I think I'm only going to put about 2 or 3 miles on this. So yeah, we can talk about the board a little bit more. I like the way it's set up. I just think there's a lot of settings I have to figure out what to do with. The overheating thing, I don't know if that's just a problem with how many amps I'm running versus how big I am. I don't know if that's a problem with me just taking hills too hard. I spotted my family across the way. Hold on. I think they're heading back to the car for some reason. This might actually end up having to be short. Maybe I'll have to do a sit down after this and talk about what it is I want to talk about with these. Hey. There's that what's it called? Recliner bike? I don't know what it's called. Recumbence bike? Hi, and thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. So, talking about some of the issues that I have had with the board. I'm still having the overheating problem. I have tried taking it easy on the board and seeing if it makes it last longer before it does finally cut out. It does a little bit, but it still will eventually cut out, regardless of how light I'm riding it. I'm a little confused of why that might be. One of the theories that I have is that the ESC itself is just getting hot and it has some form of onboard temperature sensor that will reduce amps available once it's at a certain temperature. Another theory is that it just loses, like some component loses functionality as it gets hotter. Right now, I'm running the ESC completely enclosed in a box underneath the board. But they do have a metal heatsink on them, but I think they're meant to be attached to a proper heatsink that's externally exposed so that it can cool as you ride. I think that's going to be my next step. Obviously, I have some very, very small aluminum heat sinks already laying around, so I might try attaching those with some thermal paste and making slots in the enclosure to hold the cooling fins in place while it's being mounted in there, which means I might have to reorient some of the ways I had things run, but it won't be that big of an issue. So that's going to be one possible fix for the mountain board. But as far as I can tell, that's really the only issue. I mean, I'm not running the full 50 amps that the controller is made for on that. I'm only running 35 per motor, which does, more than I need it to do. I really don't need it to be climbing massive hills, especially not with a guy my size. I just don't have that kind of usability out of it. So I'm going to be just going to do mostly street riding, some of the grassy areas around where I'm at, but I'm not looking forward to doing anything. I'm not looking to do anything that's like a, dead stop in tall grass trying to take off from there. It's just, I don't want to do it. It's not going to happen. But overall, I love this board. I love the way it runs, and I love the way, I put it together, and I like the way it looks. I don't know if you saw in the earlier part of this video, but I did get some headlights. If I can get it off to show you, I actually have these headlights off of Amazon. These are some cheaper $16 headlights. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect for what I needed it for. It doesn't have like the rubber strap that clamps around a bicycle handlebar. It has a hard plastic clamp which does not vibrate at all, regardless of what I'm going over with the board. And it clamps right onto the front axle, the front trucks. Has no problem there. I don't know if you can tell by the shape of this, but it does run dual 18650s inside, so it's got plenty of runtime, plenty of power. Really, really, really bright. Obviously not the brightest you can get, but it checked all my boxes for the lowest possible price. Not only that, you can use it as a power bank as well. So you can charge it and then charge things from it. In my case, that mostly means the controller, in case the controller dies or something like that. And it's just got a little quick release system that I absolutely love, because you can just put it on there, well, push it, and then just push it. I don't know if you can hear that click. It just clicks on and it's on there. And that kit comes with a USB rechargeable tail light as well, with like 4 or 5 different light modes that it goes through. Okay, so now that that's over, I'll show you guys what I'm working on next, the next project. Forgive me, I'm already partway through this, so I'm going to show you what I got so far. This is a really cool looking board. So it's narrower in the center with wider ends. So this is a downhill deck that's made by a company called Apollo Boards. Never heard of them before, but they have these CNC routed Baltic birch plywood decks. Super basic, super simple. It might be something that I look into doing myself later on, but it's already been modified. I'm using some trucks from a unique Ego 2 that I scored on auction. Some black trucks there. Really nice, clean looking trucks with a little logo on the side of them. I've got some very, very small pads underneath this. But for the back, I am going to be running this belt drive. I don't know if I'm going to do dual motor yet. I'm going to see how one motor works out. It's very tiny. But I wanted something that was smaller and something that I could more easily carry into stores and things like that. Or maybe I could take to the same river walk this video is from and just ride around and not have to worry so much about a board that weighs as much as that thing does. So as it is now, I'm running the Flip Sky 5065. It's a 270 kV motor. Right there. This controller is probably not here to stay. It's just there for testing. Gonna have to get probably a stronger controller. But yeah, this board is going to be a mix match of professional parts. You can see it's already got a foam pad on there already. That, the board had to be slightly modified in order to fit the pad on it. But that pad is for... I wish I could remember this. It is for an Enclosure from... Hold on, I'll edit till I get to that. Okay. It is a ESC and battery enclosure for a Skateboard Tornado, a board I have never heard of, but the enclosure measurements matched up what I needed, and it looks like I can fit a 10S3P battery pack in it. So, and still have plenty of space for whatever the biggest ESC I could possibly fit in something this tiny. Yeah, and it's just going to be running some 83mm wheels, just some cheapies I got off of eBay. And this thing is going to be a little, well, not really little. This is kind of the biggest board they make. But for me, little. It's really going to be nice. Wheels all the way out of the front, just like a downhill board. Very, very stiff. It's like a 10-ply Baltic birch. So it's not going to flex at all. Not going to be so great for like commuting, but might be a better board for just like park riding. But we'll get to that when I get around to doing this. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in that next video. Thanks.